Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 3 of our campaign on Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and if you saw episode 2, you know we ended on a cliffhanger. We were ready for another battle, a clash of fleets. This one's going to be a much more difficult challenge than the last one, which went really well for us. This time we've got 5 Russian battleships. We've got 3 of our own, but then he's also got 3 heavy cruisers, a whole slew of light cruisers and torpedo boats. We do have Thor, Orion, and Hansa, which are among my newer of the heavy cruisers, so that's helpful. Jane Lu is an upgraded version of the original Jane Lu. Then we got the San Fernando, which is actually one of the ships we got from Spain, so I have no idea how that's going to perform. And then the Baden, which is one of our older battleships. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So my plan is to basically use the same strategy I used last time. Of course, this time I have light cruisers with me and not just the heavy cruisers. So I'm going to keep the light cruisers in a separate formation. But the heavy cruisers are definitely going to go in the same one with the battleships. And then we'll go seeking this guy out. All right, we've spotted the fleet. He is in the distance. I'm going to go to the right this time. We're still forming up, getting our heavy cruisers in behind. They haven't quite gotten there yet. So we're going to start turning to the right. We're going to bring our light cruisers out on the outside of them, and when the time comes, I'll fire our smoke screen, and that'll offer us some protection early on for our heavy boats. But we're still waiting for the Orion to come into formation behind these battleships, so I'm going to have to slow down a little more to allow for that. In the meantime, Jane Lu is up here with their 13 and 5-inch guns. Still have a pretty green crew despite the tons of money I've been pouring into training crew. They haven't really had any battle experience yet. Alright, Johann Jacob Dauber is up front, followed by the Schmetterling and the Anne Frank and the Lusitania. Those are all patron ships, so let's try not to lose those. So I just fired the smoke, and it also took away my visibility from being able to see what they're doing, which is totally fine because we're still trying to get our formations lined up. So that buys us a little extra time to do what we need to do. Alright, now here they're coming back into sight again. I just want to be careful I don't lose any of these light cruisers. We have one of his battleships right up front. Remember, he has 5 of them. So it would be really nice to knock one of them out pretty early on if possible. There's not much that these light cruisers are going to do against them, though they do have 6-inch guns, 6 and 5s, depending on which one you're looking at. I'm a little concerned, though, because his battleship is firing on my light cruisers. So we're probably going to swing these guys around and get them behind the formation. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before, which is to try and draw him out and string out the formation a little bit so that his whole fleet isn't firing on me at once and we can take on a few ships at a time. Just watching to see what his view is at the moment. Yeah, he's still going after my light cruisers. If he nails one of them, it could be a one-shot kill scenario, especially since the smoke's clearing now. My light cruisers are going at 22 knots, so they're going significantly faster than the rest of the formation, which is what I want. I want them to get clear while we spread these guys out, and then I'm going to swing them around. I want to pull Jane Lu in behind the Lusitania once they get past me. Okay, we've landed a few hits on the Evstafi, but nothing of any significance so far. No flooding, just a little bit of damage. San Fernando's here. This is the Spanish ship that I acquired from them. I like the hull that they have available. I wish I could get that for my ships. There we go. Now we're landing some decent hits. How long before we can fire smoke again? Still 4.5 minutes. Yeah, we're spreading them out a little bit. That's what I like. Alright, we got to swing Jane Lou around because we're... Oh, Lusitania got hit. That's a concern. It's all the way in the rear, though, so there shouldn't be too much in the way of flooding. Okay, my heavy cruisers are probably going to be facing off against his as his come into range here. As soon as we can get the Lusitania clear, we can start straightening out the battleships. I think we're almost there. He's starting to turn now too. Oh, that's because that guy's dropping out of formation because he took some damage. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to finish off the Evstafi. We're going to have to start going after the second one in the formation. Okay, we're going to bring these guys around once we get a chance here, but I've got him spread out the way I want him. Hopefully this will work again. Now, oh, he's starting to fire on my heavy cruisers. He's got a lot more firepower than the last fleet did. I think there's probably a good chance we lose a few ships in this one. That battleship's charging right at me. He doesn't have any torpedoes, but he's got 13-inch guns. So in close range, he could light me up. So we need to sink him fast. I'm going to swing the light cruisers back around. If he keeps staying in close like this, I might make a run with some torpedoes. There we go. We got some hits on him now. But he's coming straight at me. If he fires it, oh boy. Thor's taking some big time flooding. We're probably going to need to detach him and get him out of here. I don't like how close we're getting. We got to finish this guy off. Okay, now he's taking some serious flooding. I'm watching to see if enough compartments are going to keep flooding to finish him off. I think we might have him. Oh boy, I do not like how much firepower is getting in close on me. Oh yeah, we got him now. He just had an ammo detonation. Alright, so we've severely damaged one battleship. We've sunk another. Got another one coming in super close on us now. We're going to swing Jane Lou back around this way. We're bringing in the light cruisers now. I'm just trying to get Thor out of there. Actually, they're doing okay now. I'm going to drop Thor in this battle line with the light cruisers. There we go. We've got some good hits on the Varna now. Alright, time for a smoke screen. Alright, everybody's looking good at the moment. Hansa's awfully close to this light cruiser, which has a lot of torpedoes. We're just out of torpedo range. We might get into his range, though. Dang, I don't like being this close at all. Alright, we just hit that battleship back there. We're cutting in between, unfortunately, here. My formations are getting screwed up. Oh, boy. Turn, Orion, turn, buddy. Oh, yeah. He's going to avoid it, but we do have to worry about... Okay, it's going to cut in between, so we're good. You know what? Let's cut the Johann Jacob Dauber in here. See if we can't nail this guy with some torpedoes. This is getting to be a bit of a mess, though. Oh, flash fire! He's toast. So much for torpedo needs. Alright. So I'm going to try to get this all straightened out now. Who's the lead ship in this formation? Oh, it's Jane Lou. Okay. So we're cutting across each other right now, which is not ideal. Here come the heavy cruisers. The Varna's taking a lot of damage. Evstafi has as well. So his two remaining battleships that are in sight are both dealing with a lot of damage. And I think there's another one out there that we've already damaged as well. Trying to... Oh, Anne Frank! Taking a lot... I mean, almost all the compartments are flooded. I don't know that Anne Frank's going to survive this. But if they can get on top of that flooding, they might be okay. I'm going to try to get them clear of danger. That was not the best bit of admiralty on my part as far as how I got these two crossed in front of each other the way that I did. Alright, Anne Frank's going to be okay. They're getting on top of the flooding. I'm going to go ahead and drop them back into the formation now, which I need to desperately get straightened out. While we bring the battleship formation around to try and nail these heavy cruisers now. His battleships are taking enough damage to where the heavy cruisers are starting to become the big threat. Still firing on the Varna, the battleship. Oh, a ship just sank that I didn't even see. I would guess it's probably one of his escorts, because he's also got torpedo boats that we haven't even seen yet. That's probably what got hit. Oh yeah, here they are. There's a whole mess of them over here in the smoke screen. We probably just hit one of them by accident while firing on his battleships. Alright, we're about to take out the Kronstadt. Come on, one more hit should cause enough flooding. Oh, we lost the Hansa. Where's the Hansa? Oh, right there. Okay, dang. I didn't even see what happened. Let's take a look at the log. There's a 4.1 inch shell that caused partial damage. I did take a overpen 381 damage shot from a battleship, but that was an hour and a half. Or is that a minute and a half? Yeah, it was a minute and a half earlier, so it must have just been a combination. Oh, it looks like it was all the flooding. Yeah, it just took too much flooding. What class is that? I think that's one of my older ones. It probably didn't have the bulkhead protection that I've put on all my more recent ships. That's the only thing I can think. There. Oh, somebody just got a flash fire. Oh, that was the Svetlana. That's why it sank. Alright, main thing right now is that all of our capital ships are in good shape. We lost a older heavy cruiser. I think it was an older one. This is our lead in the formation here. We're just trying to swing them around and get them all straightened out. The Spanish one's holding up pretty well at the moment. Let's take a look at the Jane Lou's current log. You can see they've lost about 50 crew, about 6%. So they are taking some losses. There's a couple of nice shots on the crunch lot. We're just not causing enough flooding to sink it. San Fernando, on the other hand, has only lost 11 crew. Baden has a much bigger crew than the others, and they've lost about 60. Thor's taking some hits again. I think we might lose the Thor to flooding. Really like to finish off these 3 heavy cruisers in front of me here. There goes the Thor. Okay. That's our second heavy cruiser we've lost. There goes one of his torpedo boats. Oh no. Oh, that wasn't the Anne Frank that suffered that detonation. That was the Thor. Alright, so the good news is that the 2 ships we lost are not among our patron ships, so... I always feel worse losing those. Alright, how are we doing here? We need to take out these other battleships. I'm a little worried about how far away our light cruisers are getting. I'm going to go ahead and get their smoke screen going again. And I need to start bringing the battleships around so we can start helping out. There goes another light cruiser for them. Oh, Anne Frank, no! No, 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 no. Pump it out. Oh, okay. Dang it. Oh, we got to replace that one. Yeah, I took way too long to get those guys away from what was happening. They're now closer to the enemy's main fleet than my capital ships are. Oh, the Orion! Are you kidding me? What happened there? Ugh. They're back here. They must have taken a bad hit. I mean, structurally they're in good shape. It was the flooding. A couple of 4-inch hits. Like, they didn't take anything bigger than a 4-inch hit. But they took so many hits that it was just enough to get the job done, I guess. We got to deal with that flooding. I mean, most of my ships that are sinking, they're sinking because of flooding. Oh, I want my gun ranges on. Alright, I'm just checking out Lusitania. They're taking some damage here. We did just land a nice hit on one of the heavy cruisers, but it doesn't seem to be making that big a difference. We've got a little distance now between our capital ships, our 3 battleships, and his fleet, but we still have to worry about getting these light cruisers out of danger. I'm trying to swing the battleships back around. I still want to deal with these heavy cruisers here and these battleships here. These 2 battleships have taken a lot of damage. I really want to sink them. If I can take them out, I'll probably get out of here and call it a day. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling my light cruisers out. Just going to tell them to get out of Dodge best we can. Lusitania. We've got to detach Lusitania because they're taking a lot of hits and they're kind of sitting ducks at the moment. Come on, let's take these guys down. His battleships are going after Lusitania big time. I'm not sure I'm going to get them to safety. 3 minutes away from being able to smoke screen again. Come on, get out of here. Alright, we should be able to line up some good shots on these heavies now. Go Lusitania. They need to get repairs done so they can get their engines fired up. They're only going 10 knots right now, and his battleships are chasing them down. Keeping an eye on when I can fire smoke again. We're about 40 seconds away. That'll help. But they've got steering damage and engine damage. Alright, there we go. Go Lusitania, get out of there. Come on. We got to nail these guys. We've been shooting it out with the heavy cruisers for a while without a lot of success. Oh boy. There was a penetration fire on Lusitania. That's more damage. Oh. Come on, guys. Get out of there. Creeping along at 10 knots. Not having a great deal of success at the moment. The others are doing fine. They're going to get out of there. Alright, I think Lusitania is starting to put a little distance between themselves and the rest of that fleet. He's going to turn his attention to my battleships now. You can see they're starting to turn this way. Alright, let's go after the Europa. That's the lead ship at the moment. I want to get these 2 heavy cruisers and these 2 battleships. I'm not really worried about the rest. Starting to get some hits now. Nothing significant so far. But enough to where I should have an edge. Alright, we're going to go change things and go after this one for a little bit. How are we doing on... We've got plenty of shells left, so that's not a concern. I don't like how close we are. But I also don't like how poorly we're firing. Yes, very little success after some early results. Alright, we're pummeling them to death. There we go. We caused some flooding. Is that enough to sink? I think it is. There we go. Beautiful. So Europa's down. There, now we've got some significant damage on Severnaya Zvezda. Oh yeah, they're toast. Once we hit one, then the other one came pretty fast. Now we go for the battleships. They're already pretty heavily damaged. So we lit the Varna on fire, but now he's sneaking in behind the smoke screen, so we're actually losing sight of all these ships. Mine are also getting to safety, so that's the good news. Might go ahead and fire on these light cruisers for a few minutes because they're all bunched up. So we've got a pretty good chance of hitting, and one good hit from a 13-inch gun would take out those light cruisers. Alright, Baden's taking some damage. Let's see what happened there. Actually, I haven't taken many. There's been taking some 2.3-inch shots. It looks like one of them damaged their steering. I think he's decided he's done. Yeah, they're trying to get out of here. I don't think we have enough speed to catch up to him either. Is it bot? Yeah. Oh, we got one of the light cruisers. I'm going to detach the Baden because they're just dealing with some speed issues right now. We can at least get Jane Lou and San Fernando up to 14 knots or 16 knots. I'm going to try to maybe land a lucky shot on one of these battleships and slow them down so I can catch up. So here's the current situation. We're making good time and catching up to these battleships. They're not getting away. In the meantime, I'm going to do some firing on the light cruisers. Alright, now they're going behind a smoke screen. But if we can catch up to these battleships and I can take those two out, finish them off, then we'll go ahead and disengage. Oh, there's a big hit on that light cruiser. That came from the Baden. He was limping along, but still doing some damage. That might have been enough to finish them off. I think his battleships are figuring out they can't get away. You know what, I'm going to turn on these light cruisers for a minute just because they're bunched up together and that makes for a juicy target. Plus he just put a smoke screen between me and that battleship. Come on, boys. Oh, big damage on that torpedo boat. And I think we just nailed that one too, which is good because he's coming straight at me like he's going to make a torpedo run. Oh, now that they figured out they can't get away, they're turning to try and come at me and throw some torpedoes my way. We got to be careful here. Last thing I want to see is losing one or both of these battleships. Or that torpedo boat's toast. We need to nail these things up. Yeah, he's just about in torpedo range. Come on, light him up. I know he's going to put some torpedoes in the water here. San Fernando's going to have to do some evasive action. Yeah, he just put a torpedo in the water. Oh boy, that's gonna... Oh, that's a whole spread of them. Oh, San Fernando's toast. Absolute toast. They all hit... Well, you know, they all hit in the same area. It just depends on whether or not they can stop the flooding. I didn't build that ship, so I don't know how well the bulkheads are designed. But if they can keep the flooding from spreading to any more compartments... Oh man, they're in bad shape. They took 4 torpedoes. We just lit up 2 more light cruisers. I do not want to lose a battleship. Not even a Spanish one that I got in a settlement. Here come 2 more light cruisers at us though. Everybody fire on that, on the Mashinki. Moshkni. Alright, we got them. Yeah, he's toast. We got one more, the Roosts. Come on, San Fernando. Nah, the flooding spread. Oh, no, it's going back down. They may have just survived. No, they just started taking flooding in the other compartments. They're done. Ah, darn it. I did not want to lose a battleship. But if I was going to lose one of the three, that was the one to lose. This has been a bloodbath on both sides. Alright, they're done. Now it's 2 battleships versus 2 battleships. Alright, we're going to pull Baden back into the formation. Just a little more damage or flooding should do in the Evstafi. This is where we got to be careful, though. We don't want to lose one of these battleships because we got in too close and got careless. I'm going to watch from the perspective of his battleships. There we go. That's a hit that should finish him off. Nice job, Jane Lou. And then there was one, the Varna. They've had a lot of fire damage, but they're hanging on. We need to cause some more flooding. We're at a bad angle at the moment. So we're going to have to swing around and get around on the other side of him. He's coming up on the wreckage of the Evstafi. Yeah, a lot of things are going to ricochet right now. There we go, we got them. They're done. Bye-bye. They're going to sink right as they get to the wreckage of the other battleship that's sinking underneath them. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't let them pump out of it. Hit him again. There you go. That's it. Wow. Okay. So here is how that turned out. 56,800 victory points for me. 24,661 for him. Crew losses, you can see those there. We sank 20 ships. We lost 5. I lost a battleship, all 3 heavy cruisers, and the Anne Frank. But considering how badly I was outnumbered, we sank all of his fleet except for 1 battleship that got away. I will take that. I will absolutely take that trade-off. He can't afford to keep taking losses like that. So here's the crew we managed to save from the various ships. More importantly, though, overall, looking at the war, we are in pretty good shape. 101,000 victory points versus 34,000 for the Soviets. Let's take a look at the scenario now as far as what kind of ships he's got left. He's got 10 battleships still, 17 heavy cruisers, 30 light cruisers. So it's mainly those heavy ships I'm worried about. He's only building 2 at the moment, whereas we have 13 battleships, 6 heavy cruisers. So we need to get some heavy cruisers going. We definitely need to get some repairs going, and that's actually going to be my first order of business now, is to go into that fleet this fleet was in the previous fight. We're going to send them back to Kiel and get that repair going. Then where's my other fleet? That's the one right here. No, it's not. It's right here. Okay, so this is the one that was just involved in that action. We're going to send them to Hamburg also to get repairs. So this is going to be kind of a time for us to back off a little bit. We don't have anybody currently. Oh, we do have a number of ships being built. So this is going to pretty much max out by the time we do repairs what we're able to do. So we can't really queue up anything new at the moment. All right, we're going right back into some more combat. We're really getting into the meat of this thing now, and this is a good chance for us here. This is a a pretty solid fleet going up against one battleship, 4 heavy cruisers. We can really start changing the balance of power as far as what ships are available to each nation with a victory like this. We're going right at it. I just got onto the screen. It just loaded up and we're already spotting his ships. So same deal here. Königsberg, Rotterdam, and Bremen. Their job is going to be to give me that initial smoke screen. Actually, you know what? In a battle like this where I've got a huge advantage in terms of the firepower, I'm inclined just to hold them back altogether. So I think I'm going to swing them around and just get them out of here. And we're going to charge straight at these guys. We've got the advantage this time. So I don't need to do any cloak and dagger. I don't need to worry about smoke screens. I just need to go in there and just pound these guys into oblivion. I was not expecting to start landing hits this quickly because we're still at about 6.5 kilometers out, but we've already put some hurting on the lead battleship. So we've got another one of our Spanish ships here. Oh, we just nailed him again. Wow. Who hit him? There's a 13-inch main belt penetration for 4,600 damage. Yeah, it was Bismarck that sank it. Nicely done, boys. So his battleship's toast. Now it's just the 4 heavy cruisers. Boy, unlike the first 2 episodes, this 3rd episode of this series is all action. And I expected that would happen once we got into the fight a little more and started dealing with some bigger nations with more ships like the Soviets. So at this point, what are we facing? We're facing 6-inch guns. I mean, that's as big as they get on any of these heavy cruisers. Whereas we have 10.5, 13, 12, 12, and then 13. We don't want to get too close. We don't need to. We don't want to give him a chance to be able to penetrate with those 6-inch guns. There's a hit. Sviatoslav. I think this is a pretty good distance to stay at. Although he's kind of out of the range of some of our guns. At this distance too, you notice the big guns are actually firing plunging fire, so it's coming up and then down onto the deck. Whereas the smaller guns, it's more direct, so it's probably hitting his belt. Watching to see if any of these big guns are plunging down on. Looks like we're actually going after the further ships. Just can't quite seem to get the accuracy going yet. Only about 4% accuracy. It'll get better as we get up alongside the Graf Orloff. I don't know why these other guys are firing on the further ships. I want everything going after Graf Orloff while we're next to him. Oh yeah, there's a big shot. He's trying to run. Let's watch the fire coming in at 5 times speed. It'll look like a machine gun. Man, these things are pretty well armored. And a lot of the shots are ricocheting. We're getting close enough now to where he could cause some damage. There we go. We're starting to cause a bunch of fires. Looks like he might die from structural damage sooner than flooding. Oh, here comes the flooding now. We finally penetrated his hull. Alright, we got the first one. San Ignacio's on fire, though, so we need to be careful here. He's starting to turn, too, so let's do the same. Get more of an overhead shot here. Poor Hildebrand's all the way in the back. They're not really getting in on the action yet. Alright, now we're going to be firing on all three of them at the same time. Hopefully we can take all three of them out pretty quickly here. I don't want to get any closer than this, though. There we go. We're starting to cause some nice damage. Lovely. Yeah, see, he's having a hard time penetrating my armor. But this is my last healthy fleet right now, so the other two squadrons, I should say, probably not really fleets, are going in for repairs. I don't want this one to have to do too much of that. There we go. Took out the Sviatoslav. 2 to go. This war may end sooner rather than later because the Soviets are already suing for peace after the first debacle by their navy. Alright, this guy's about to be done too. Come on, finish him off. There we go. Flash fire. Flooding. He's toast. That leaves you. Could you imagine being a Russian sailor aboard this ship right now? You've got 5 battleships and a heavy cruiser just pouring everything they have onto you after sinking all the other ships in your squadron. There we go. There goes the flooding. We're overshooting a lot still. We're not at the place yet where accuracy is a big deal. That'll be another decade or so before we start seeing real accuracy with the technology. Oh, he's turning away. It's going to get a little harder to hit him now. There we go. Oh, torpedo detonation. That'll do it. That was beautiful. This was about as perfect an episode as you could hope for. Another 20,000 victory points, another 5 ships sunk, 4 heavy cruisers, and a battleship. Let's see where things stand as we wrap this episode up. So now we've got 120,000 victory points to his 34,000. More importantly, we have 12 ships being repaired at the moment. So that means we're down a little bit on our active ships. But let's take a look at the Soviet Union. He's down to 9 battleships, 12 heavy cruisers. So big difference over where we were before. And with that, we've got a couple of convoy missions. Or he's actually going after some of our convoys. That's going to be an interesting one to fight. We're going to be protecting 10 transports with a single battleship, but it's a Preußen-class battleship. That's one of our premier battleships that we have, taking on 2 smaller ones on his part. And then we've got another, are those both the same mission? I guess they are, but we'll leave that one for next time. And we'll see where things stand. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below, and we see you again with another episode. Thanks for watching.